Hey guys, welcome back to the woods of Idaho. This is Jeremy from thetruthaboutguns.com, T-Tag here, and we're back out with the CCI Copper 22, this brand new round for them. It is a 21 grain 22 long rifle round. It's made of compressed copper dust and polymer, and it kind of melts together into a solid bullet. It's frangible on hard stuff like steel, but mostly it stays together. The claim to fame really is a 1,850 foot per second velocity, which makes it the fastest 22 long rifle in the world. Now, I already tested this. I went through the chronograph with a 16-inch barrel rifle and through a 5-inch, 4.7-inch, I think, barrel pistol. Those results are on T-Tag, and we had a lot of great comments on there asking for velocities through a really small barrel. So I've got the NAA mini revolver out here, and also in this proper bag I just picked up, I have a couple of 22 long rifles. This is the one we tested last time, the CZ455, and I also have an old Western field that a relative of mine had ordered through the Sears Roebuck catalog back in the day, pre-64, no serial number, delivered right to your door from Sears, and it has a 22-inch barrel. So I'm going to test it with that to see what this stuff does through a 22-inch barrel, and then we'll see what it does through the mini revolver. And also, since everyone is saying it's only accurate to 75 yards, we're going to shoot a group at 75 yards, and then I'm going to shoot a group at 100 yards and see what that looks like, because apparently it just opens up like crazy. The bullet destabilizes. Let's get to it. Quick look here. I've unstrapped that Western field with its 22-inch barrel. Yes, I had that threaded from my gunsmith. Might put the can on, might not. Let's do 5 shots through the chronograph with this guy. We've got bright sun coming in at an angle, but hopefully we get readings out of this. The muzzle's not quite 10 feet away. Let's see what she does out of the 22-inch barrel. (1,895 feet per second). 1,887. 1,855. 1,784. And 1,734. Interesting. It is lower than what we got with the 16-inch barrel, or 16 and a half. And you know what? I'm going to switch back to that rifle with the 16-inch barrel just to test again, see if we had some sort of a fluke averaging over 1,900, or if it actually prefers that 16-inch barrel. Now we've moved on to the CZ with the 16.5-inch barrel. Same distance. Let's see what this guy says. 1,955. 1,955. Oops, that one didn't read. And this is very interesting, though, I must say. Wow, 1,955. That's crazy. 1,906. And that was it. You know what, let me do one more. Just because we had so many 1,955s. What are the chances of that, huh? 1,897. Wow, faster from the 16.5-inch barrel than a 22-inch barrel. Didn't expect that. All right, we're on to the NAA. She's loaded up, you can see in there, with 5 of the copper 22s. 911.9, 959, 1,108, 919.8. Let me load up one more copper 22 since I got an error that first time, and I'm going to follow that with 4 of CCI Stingers just so we can see same day, same chronograph, how those compare. All right, first shot, copper 22. Next 4, Stingers. Or Stangers, as 22 Plinkster calls them. 1,146, wow, cruising. 794.4. 800.4. Error. Did not recognize that. And that's it. All right, decent comparison nonetheless. There's a stinger on the right compared to the copper 22 on the left. Well, that was definitely an interesting result. I was not expecting faster velocities from the short barrel than the 22-inch barrel. What that tells us is that it's definitely burning that powder. All the powder is being burnt within, well, short of 22 inches and short enough of 22 inches that the bullet is actually slowing down. It's not getting accelerated any longer, maybe past 16, maybe past 18, but there's some point where that powder's gone, that expansion of gases is gone, and the bullet starts to slow down from the extra drag of the barrel. Maybe a different rifle would do differently, but this has been a reliable, accurate rifle for me. And velocities out of the NAA mini revolver, not so hot. I'd rather run the Stingers. They're so much heavier and they're getting close to the velocity. I think they're gonna do a lot better ballistically, terminal ballistics out of this than these copper guys. They're just leaving the barrel too quick. Too much of the powder's not being burnt. That difference in velocity, I mean, it depends what you wanna do, but Stingers, I'm sticking with those guys. Now let's stretch this out to at least 100 yards and see what happens. All right, it's a week later. Sorry to delay the video further, but I needed this area where I could get at least 100 yards. And that target down there, paper target, is 102 yards away from a little table here. We're going to shoot the copper 22 through the CZ. Feeling good about how steady the gun is and how those trigger brakes are going so far. Feel like we should have a tight group. All right, good trigger brakes, everything felt good. No wind, no excuses. Let's go see what happened. Well, holy crap. I was aiming at that top left bullseye there. Got one up at the top, one here, one over here. That is insane. And yeah, there's only 3 on the paper. That is a huge group just between the 3 that actually hit the paper. No idea, of course, where the other 2 went. Yeah, this stuff does not work past 75 yards apparently. Let's move it into 80 yards, see what that looks like, then I'll move it into 70. See what that looks like. Rangefinder says 80 yards. See what we can do. I see a group that looks like a group. Let's go check it out and move that target into 70. Well, that's a group. Although one of these rounds is from that last try at 102 yards. So we got 3 on paper again. I'm assuming the other 2 went high. Not a great group for this gun at 80 yards, but I mean, at least it's not crazy. So I'm thinking that 75 yard kind of rule that this stuff loses stability past 75 is probably pretty accurate, because 82, we're definitely opening up more than it should. Let's move it into 70, see what happens. All right, here is our 70-yard result. 1, 2 through that hole, 3, 4, 5. That's looking a bit better. That one's a bit of a flyer, but yeah, compared to 80, where only 3 of these were from that batch and 2 were off the target, compared to 100 where it was this one, and I think that one, or maybe that one. Keeping it inside of 75, that definitely seems to be the ticket with the copper 22. I'm gonna round this video out a little bit.
Found this Coleman propane tank out here in the woods. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot it down here in the middle where there's nothing on it and see if these rounds will penetrate. I mean, ultimately they're frangible, but they're sort of not. I'm curious if it'll go through the steel. Well, gotta say, more unexpected results from this ammo. That right in the middle is the entry wound, and as you can see, there's also an exit hole. That guy right there. Huh. It went clean through. So as they say, I mean, it's not really frangible ammo. When they take that copper dust and the polymer and they compress it into the shape of the bullet, it melts the polymer and it makes a solid, pretty serious projectile there. Unlike when they just compress, copper or tin dust, kind of like making a pill, a medicine tablet. When that stuff hits, it just disintegrates. It turns back into dust. There's really no binding holding that stuff together. In this case, wow, pretty impressive. Guys, thanks for joining me with the second video, part 2, with the CCI Copper 22. I think thanks to some of the questions I got about shooting it through a really, really short barrel, shooting it through a longer barrel, trying it at the different ranges. We probably covered all the bases on this stuff. I think it's an awesome product as long as we keep it within 75 yards to get the expected accuracy out of it. It's definitely a barn burner. This stuff is hot. It does a ton of damage downrange, even though it doesn't expand, it doesn't fragment, it doesn't come apart. It's not really a hollow point. Apparently that dimple is just there for aerodynamics. It still does a ton of damage downrange, and I'm pretty impressed with it. Been 100% reliable. Barrel stays clean, suppressor stays clean, unlike a lot of the frangible ammo that kind of sheds particles, sheds copper dust or tin dust or whatever it's compressed out of. This stuff stays together. It is a solid bullet, as you saw. It went right through that propane tank. So thanks again for the tips, the input on what else I should put this ammo through in terms of testing. Hope you guys will like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you out here in the woods in Idaho and on the channel next time.